Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Okay, guys. Hi, and welcome to another FxEdge Power Hour. I'm Marcello Ducille. Today is February 14th, 2013, and happy Valentine's Day to everyone across the world here. Today we're going to do what I've done for years, which is a daily market analysis, a daily strategy evaluation, and then we're going to have a brief questions and answers session. Let's go ahead and get to it. Get in and out as quickly as possible. That's what we like to do here. So let's go ahead and start with the STP. We're going to start with the STP series. That is our premier series. And then we're going to move on to, that's our Swing Trader Pro series. That's our daily trading. We're going to talk about the euro dollar, the pound dollar, the dollar Swiss, the pound yen, euro yen, and the Aussie dollar. So let's go ahead and take a look at that quickly, so that we can actually get an overview of the market as well. All right, so what you're going to notice here is a couple of things. Get rid of this. Great. All right, so you're going to notice a couple of things here. You know, yesterday on the euro dollar, I did mention that we had a sell bias, and clearly the market did take that sell bias. Essentially, we had a reversal candle that formed at an area of support and resistance. This was the trend line that we had drawn to the upside and also to the lower end. And you can see here that price didn't even retrace, not even a little bit. We had an open at 134.51, a high at 134.55, and then the market just dropped. So from a high of 134.55, which was essentially the open, we fell to 133.14. So that's about 140 pip drop there that we witnessed on the euro, and there's been a retracement here as well, moving back up as it got close to that 50 EMA, which is an area of support. So we are still, guys, in this apex. So that's what we need to know, is that we're in this apex here, in the apex, which is honestly it's the zone that we can expect to see some form of a breakout. That breakout may come as a buy or as a sell, but we're expecting certainly a breakout in this zone here, potentially tomorrow. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled as far as that's concerned. All right, so for the euro dollar, we didn't have a trade per se. Okay, besides the discretionary trade that I mentioned yesterday, and that trade is currently up. You can see here that there's about 70 pips of risk. It went down 140 pips. You could have easily gotten 2-to-1 here. 1-to-1 ratio would have been good, and the second position could have been moved to break even, which is where you could be at this point. If you did take that trade recommendation, got more of that coming. Actually, I've been asked repeatedly to go on the discretionary side and start teaching some of the things that I do here in the discretionary side, and so I think we're going to do that very, very soon. So anyway, the euro dollar is currently, I mean, I still have a sell bias, I guess, for the time being. We are within this apex. We are at the top of the apex here, so we've got to be looking for a push down at the very least, maybe a retest of this area, and then, you know, potentially a push down to the 13100 area. I was looking for the 132.50 area, actually. So we're actually right, very, very close to that area. So we could see that this area right here tested 132.50, and then, you know, we'll see how the market reacts at this point of decision here, which is the 50 MA and this this lower trend line here, which is our area of support. So you can see here that that price could drop here. If it does drop here, we're going to have a very strong area of support. If we get a retest of that area, and so if we break through clearly and have a close below that, then we officially have a breakout to the downside. At the very least, we may expect to see a retest of this area, and, you know, depending on what the market wants to do, if it wants to close up here, then we could potentially see a reversal and a pushback to the upside on the euro dollar. So that's where we're at. We are at the apex. We're at a point of decision. This is a good place to be because we know that there's something to expect. So be vigilant. Okay, so that's the euro dollar. No trade for us today. All right, the dollar Swiss. Now, remember yesterday I said that the dollar Swiss and the euro dollar, obviously they are inversely correlated, but they have a very, very strong inverse correlation. The signals, we had a reversal candle sell on the dollar Swiss, whereas we had also a reversal candle sell on the euro dollar. As in many cases, the euro dollar did prevail here, and you can see here that we did have a move up on the dollar Swiss as we had a move down on the euro dollar in kind. And that's what we expected. We expected a close where we did as well, and that closes at 92.05, which is that area of support and resistance that we talked about before. So we did make it to 92.50. As you can see here, guys, this is interesting because, we also labeled this 92.50 area, 92.48, as an area of resistance. And you can see here price got to 92.44. Okay, where it retraced and actually headed down to its current position, which is 92.08. So there are many plays that we could have had here as far as the dollar Swiss. You can't take them all. You got to take the ones that you believe will be the strongest and the most, the most profitable at the end of the day. And in this course, I'll probably be talking about all of those things as well. But anyway, so the dollar Swiss, where are we at now? What's the bias? Clearly we have, to be honest with you, looking at this, and I'm seeing the areas of support and resistance. We could see a test of this 200 area, or a retest of this 92.50 area, but certainly, I'm actually, my bias is I actually have no bias on this dollar Swiss. We'll actually look to the euro dollar to prevail as far as overall direction. So we'll have to wait and see what that does. There's no clear signals here on this dollar Swiss. As you can see here, basically we're still in the same consolidation. I can say the same thing about the euro dollar too, but and we are definitely in a consolidation on the euro dollar clearly here, a contraction in price where we are. But the difference here is that we're moving into an apex, and it's a bit different of a consolidation. It's telling us a little bit more. So anyway, on the dollar Swiss, we don't currently have a trade. We'll be looking for one second. There we go. Okay, so we'll be looking for a change from, let's do that again. Okay, we'll be looking for a change from green to red that will potentially get us into a sell here and reattack this trend line here that it's headed down. Very strong area of support resistance here, by the way. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Dollar Swiss is actually, kind of neutral right now because of the consolidation, and there are no clear signals. Now the pound dollar. The pound dollar is actually an interesting case. We are in a pound dollar sell at this point, and it does look good for a continuation to the downside. Our next area of support and resistance here looks to be 54.28, and I'm looking to see some kind of action, market movement at this point. We are in this trade, and we did get in. And we're up about 44 pips on this trade, on this pound dollar trade. And it's a good trade. It's moving in the right direction. We'll see how it reacts at this point of decision here, this 54.30 area, and then we'll go from there. Really, it's still got a sell bias. It's below prominent areas of support, so we are most likely going to see a continuation in that direction. The good thing about this pound dollar trade, that basically we got in, we had a change from green to red, gave us a sell signal, and we jumped in at 155.38, 155.39, and you can see here that our stop loss has already moved to break even. So no matter what happens, if the market does retrace, if the market goes in the opposite direction completely, we have no risk on this trade at this point. Okay. We're looking for a first TP at 154.31, so we're about 60 pips away from that, and so we'll have to wait and see. We're looking for 100 pips on this pound dollar take profit. All right, so moving right along here, pound yen. Okay, so pound yen, we were in this consolidation, if you remember, side to side here, and then all of a sudden we had a breakout of that 14600 area down to the 14500 area. You can see that it never really attacked that area again, and it came right down to our next area, which is 14400, 143.50, sorry. And you can see this 143.50 area has been, actually 14400 is where we had an area of support. Sorry, I've got actually two levels here. 143.70 is where we have a level of support. You can see why here. We've got highs, lows, and closes that just coincide very, very well with this area, and that's exactly where price stopped. So you can see that we're having a correction in the market. It's going to be interesting to see. For me personally, clearly I've got a sell bias so far on the pound yen. I'm going to wait and see how it attacks this 50 EMA that we're looking at here, and if it closes strong or it gives a strong reversal candle, then we're going to be mindful of that, and we're going to shift our bias there. But right now we definitely have a sell bias on the pound yen. Levels that I'm looking for, maybe we'll get a retest up here at 14500, okay? Or we may just see a continuation to the downside on this pound yen. Okay, Aussie dollar, kind of what we expected to see. We expected to see this was a point of decision. The market had a decision to make here, and it really didn't even attack this 200 MA. It really just began to fall off. So we had a open at 1.0368. You can see that price went up 1 pip, not even 0.4 pips, and then just turns around, runs down to 1.0324. There's our low here, and I could draw an area of support and resistance there actually, right here, because of these highs and lows and closes. All the way across their lows that coincide with it. We'll see if there's any action there tomorrow or today. So the market's giving us, but 1.0324 is a good area of support for us to look at, and of course that 200 as well. So we'll have to see how it attacks this 200. We may see a retest of this 1.0324 area, and then a push above. Perhaps a retest of this 200 MA. So we're in this range right now. We're not in a range at all, actually. We're actually just within 1 bar. So we'll need a couple more bars to really determine if we're in consolidation here or what the market's going to do. But it is at a point of decision, so we'll have to wait and see where it wants to go as far as that's concerned. Okay. Okay, yesterday we talked about the euro-yen. The euro-yen was interesting. Okay, the euro-yen was a trade that we got a buy bias. We had a buy, well, not a buy bias. We actually had a buy stochastic. Essentially, we had a buy signal here on our STP. And actually, guys, we're supposed to get out of that buy according to our rules. Should have automatically exited that buy. That's a problem, because we do have a change from green to red. Gotta figure out what's going on there. Should all be taken care of in the back area. All right, so what I'm gonna, let me do this, take a screenshot really quickly. You guys will give me a second so I can give it to my development team. Oh no. And then what we're going to do is we're going to want to shut this trade down, because according to our rules, we're supposed to have exited this and actually gotten into a sell. So if we close it out right now, we'll be able to get into that sell. And that is actually my bias. My bias has been a sell. Actually, in our discretionary trading, we were already in sells, and we actually reduced our positions on the build wealth by half, so that we didn't have that kind of risk. And so instead of having a 3% hit on this trade, it would have been a 0.75% hit, 0.75, not even 1%. As a result. And we'll be looking for the turnaround, which should yield good returns for us. All right, so let me just do this really quickly. Make sure I send that file. And confirmed. Okay, sorry about that. All right, getting back to it here. So the euro yen should close out. I'm going to go ahead and close that out right now. You guys can do the same thing. We have a change from green to red, gives us a sell trade. It's going to give us it's going to exit our buy trade and get us into a sell. So you simply just click. Oops, sorry, you can't see that. You simply just click, right-click on your trade and hit close order. That'll close out that buy. Okay. And it will close out this buy as well that we had. And you can see that it just opened to sell automatically. You see it? So there's a bug there. I'll be fixing that. And also I'm going to close out this euro yen. If you had another euro yen trade that was manual, close that out. That was our original trade as well. So now we're looking for sells here. We're not quite out of the it yet, guys, as far as the out of the woods yet as far as this consolidation is concerned. We actually closed this trade right on the consolidation level. So this sell is actually not necessarily the strongest sell that we could have, but it's definitely in the direction of the overall market. Now, what I will say is, going back to our original trade, you can see here this bodes well for our sell, is that we did have a pennant form here. We had an apex that shows itself here. Then we have a sell out and a close below a very key area, which would have been this lower trend line. which clearly had 3 hits previous to today. So that means that that actually bodes well for our sell. We may have the market come down and test our low. We have our stop loss, our break-even stop set to 50%, and so we should be good to go. We're just going to have to watch that trade and see what happens here. We may see a retracement. If all goes well, to be honest with you, you may see a retracement. You may see price come back up to about the 12500 area, which is about 70 pips away, just to retest that area. And then we may see a potential move downward and then hopefully close out for profit on our euro yen there. Maybe retest this this trend line down here, this MA 50 MA support area. I would love for that to happen. Not saying that it will, but certainly, you know, right now the potential and the bias is that we have a sell on the euro yen. All right. Let me hurry up and get through this. All right, so we kind of drew areas of support and resistance here on our FxEdge Quattro. We had a very nice sell. We were able to take some profit. We had a buy that also worked out for in our benefit. It was here. Okay, hit our first take profit. You can see here that we hit an area of resistance here, and then you can see price went right down to our next area of resistance, of support, sorry, support and resistance, which is right about the 13300 area, and it bounced off that area. We've had these here since yesterday. And so what we're going to be looking for here is we had a change from red to green, or sorry, from green to red. That gave us a sell trade on the euro dollar. And this FxEdge Quattro has been doing very, very well. Okay, over the long term. I mean, it has had some, definitely has had some losses, but when it hits these periods where the market moves, it just really hits it really well. So we had about 30 pips of risk, and so far we have 160 pips of profit, maximum favorable excursion, and we're currently at 125 pips of profit on this position as well. All right, so that's what's going on the FxEdge Quattro. Let's take a look at the IBO and the IBO Rev. All right, so IBO and IBO Rev. I'm going to refresh this here. Okay, so we had an IBO Rev, or an IBO, I should say. IBO was very, very small. Very small IBO here. Really showing a serious consolidation here. High at 134.55. Low at 134.41. You can see that there was only 14 pips there. Basically, price. This is actually a golden trade for any of you who are in this trade right now. Basically, it was 15 pips of total risk. Okay, you hit your first take profit almost immediately. Never really came back to your stop loss. And you can see a maximum favorable excursion of 121 pips. We're currently up in the market about 86 pips. So, for instance, in this trade, getting back there, we're at about a 6-to-1 ratio, and essentially that means that, you know, on your 2.5% position, for example, 90% trend percent, you're basically sitting at the table with about 13% profit on this one trade by itself, and it hasn't even really come into completion because we could see a continuation move to the downside here. And really try to attack this 132.50, 13200 handle. So keep your eyes peeled as far as that's concerned. All right, so talking about the IBO Rev. Now, the IBO Rev has been a big, big winner in 2012 and now in 2013. We had this beautiful reversal candle here at the top. I told you about it yesterday, reminded you of it. 66 pips of risk. I don't know if anyone got in on it. Beautiful trade, 139 pips of maximum favorable excursion. And we're currently in the market with about 100 pips of profit on that. It's taken its first position, first take profit. It is currently in its second position. So it's taking its first take profit, second position still open. It's going to move with the trend and then finally close out for profit, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. All right, so let's take a look at some of these other trades. I can tell you right now the triple threat 3 did not have an opportunity, did not have another trade. Let's take a look at that first. Where are you? Okay, yeah, so we did not have a trade on the triple threat 3X, and it's because we were in a buy mode, and then finally when the market went down, we're now in a sell mode. So we'll have to wait for another opportunity on the triple threat 3X. We will get one. That would be great. On the other side, guys, is our ATR sniper. Oh no. ATR sniper just closed out for some reason. Yeah, ATR sniper just closed out because of the trailing stop. You just saw it there. All right, so basically, currently we were up yesterday or the day before about 1%. Yesterday we were up about 2%, and currently right now you can see that we've closed first. We're up 6% on the ATR sniper. Okay, we had sell trades, 1 and 2 and a third sell trade here, and this sell trade has just closed out for profit. And I think we jumped in on this one here, and we basically stayed in on this all the way. And you can see why it closed out. We had a trailing stop of 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 bars. So the high of this move here is what closed this ATR sniper out, and we'll have to wait for another position on the ATR sniper. Okay? ATR sniper is currently up 6%. All right, so that pretty much does it for me, guys. Let me go ahead and answer some questions that you may have. Okay, BW just entered 2 sells on the euro yen. Absolutely, that's right. The buy should have come off, Matt, and I'm going to actually check on that right now. Make sure that my staff is, I'm sure they're all on top of that. My STP pound dollar did not move to break even. Should I make it now? If your STP pound dollar did not move to break even, it's because you don't have your settings set to 50% break even point. So let me show you how to do that really quickly. Let's go to the pound dollar, for example. If you double click on the chart, on the smiling face in the upper right hand corner of your chart, go to inputs and go down to BE%. BE% should be set to 50. If it is not set to 50, it may be the default is 75. Set it to 50 now. The next version that I will come out with of this STP5 will have that 50% break even as a default. But that's what you have to do. If you set it now, I think you should be fine. You can absolutely set it yourself as well. Okay. $50 and $200 MA are EMA? Yes, they are. They're EMA, Celia. I thought 50 was simple MA and 200 was EMA. No, I basically use exponential moving averages because they just do better at weighting, moving well with the market. I mean, the EMAs do well. 50, I like the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA very, very much so. Chad, once you close out your EJ buy, your EJ sell will take, as long as it's before 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Vaughn, I need to see that. I need to see that screenshot. Have you talked to customer service about that? Because you should have the exact same thing I have as far as Quattro is concerned. Yeah, Dick, I'll get that to you in a little bit. I'm working on a project right now. I'm going to get back to the Trumbo BB in just a bit. I just want to make sure that taking care of everything else that needs to be taken care of. ATR is working well. Some of the other stuff we were talking about is also working. I'm going to get back to that Trumbo BB and make sure I get those settings out to you guys, and probably a new version of it as well. Will market slow after Martin Luther? You know, anytime you close a market, we may very well have a bit of slowdown, I guess. European session shouldn't change. The New York session may be less vibrant, if you will. It really, you know, at the end of the day, I look at the technicals. I'm not really that way minded. Of course, if the technicals don't explain anything, then I look to the fundamentals. So for the time being, I see that we've got plenty of opportunity. Okay, thanks, Bob. I'll check on that for you as soon as I get off the line and check on this PW. Okay, if you don't have a green bar yet on your Quattro, it's because, you know, you have a slightly different feed. This is a very, very close. This green bar is still open, so it's not a closed bar. It's an open bar. So anything can happen, I mean, honestly. Bon, can you do me a favor and resend that screenshot for me, please? And I'll make sure that they, so I can address that concern and have them look for your old correspondence. Mike, go ahead and move it for me. Oh, that's a great idea. Chad says, will you make the ATR sniper available for the EJ? You showed great results. I did, and it does work well in the EJ. You're right. So, you know, now that you guys have had the opportunity to see the power of the ATR sniper, I wanted to be careful about letting you guys, you know, play with it and or use it. And so now I think I can open it up. I may open it up to the EJ. You know, I'm just concerned about people over trading all the time, which is why I don't put more stuff out, because they blame it on me when they take losses, and I don't like that. And send one. Do me a favor. Send it to info and also to that email at VIP as well, so they'll get it, and I'll also have a copy. Yeah, you may have actually done better, Dana, but you definitely got out at the right time. You know, because I do believe there's still some downside here. We hit an area of support, certainly, on this euro dollar, but there could be some more downside room here. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Oh, actually, this is Thursday, so we'll actually see each other next Monday. As you know, Monday through Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Times when we do these sessions. I look forward to seeing you and talking about how we're doing. So far, so good. We'll talk on Monday. Have a good weekend and happy trading. All the best.